Atiku will say anything just to be president. This was a man in 2022 that he was going to remove the fuel subsidy because it was a fraud. Now in 2026, he was not going to remove the fuel subsidy. He's still going back to the fraud, which he has alleged that fuel subsidy was. We should be able to be consistent in what we say to our people. That's what leaders.
I saw one of my opponents now say he will go back to subsidy. I read it. That is demonstration of a serious ignorance on governance and economy. Before I came here, 27 states are unable to pay salaries. Not to even talk of pensioners, salary of workers. In your state, I know a man that raised, who is nicknamed half salary. They come to the federal, cap in hand, unable to do anything. The salary you pay feeds families. Where are the local governments? They are in the states. Where are the concentration of population? They are in the states.
Atiku will say anything just to be president. This was a man in 2022 that he was going to remove the fuel subsidy because it was a fraud. Now in 2026, he was not going to remove the fuel subsidy. He's still going back to the fraud, which he has alleged that fuel subsidy was. We should be able to be consistent in what we say to our people. That's what leadership is all about. Leadership is not you coming out, you say one thing in the morning, in the afternoon, you say a different thing, in the night, you're talking of a different thing. That is not it. If Atiku should be fair, today, under the Petroleum Act, under the Petroleum Industry Act, NNPC has been fully commercialized. It's now a limited liability company. It's no longer the sole importer or producer of fuel. It's not. Unlike what it used to be. Is it going to give fuel subsidy in the Dangote refinery? The fuel produced by Dangote refinery? It's not going to be possible. Tell people the simple truth. All I thought he would have argued, yes, I still believe in the removal of fuel subsidy. And I think that the service made would have been utilized in this way or that way. In that case, people can ask, okay, it's making a point here. Maybe government have not looked at utilizing this service in this area. But to say one thing in 2022, then in the next few years, you are saying, who is misleading who? And that's why I tell you, we Nigerians, we should stop, listening to people who just stand to the gallery. How can you say you want to be president of the country? You can never be consistent. In any case, you won't be. Because Nigerians have known that he does not believe in the survival of this country. The policy taken by Mr. President to remove the fuel subsidy, and which admitted, look at what the Minister of Finance said. Look at the service. And how the money was shared amongst the tiers of government. It now behoves on us to go back to ask our local government, ask our states, what we have been able to use the front for. But the Minister of Finance came out categorically, look at the amount of money we have saved. And see what we did by sharing it to this tier of government, by sharing to this tier of government. So everybody got. What you use their own now is a different thing. So we must commend the government for consistency. For, look, this is a crime, this is a problem, this is a complete cancer in our system. And if the president did not hit to this by removing that fuel subsidy, most states today, you have been seeing a lot of strike by workers. Nobody talks about the non-payment of the pension. Nobody talks about non-payment of salary. Before, for you to pay salary, you will beg and beg the banks to give you money.